The Miami Dolphins have signed a safety. And as you can tell by the title, it is not one that I wanted, but I'm not upset about it. What is up, Finn fans? Late night video. But this news broke about an hour ago, give or take, that the Miami Dolphins, let me pop it up for you guys, are signing veteran safety Marcus Maye, per Schultz report, a solid addition to the secondary this late in the season. Now, the Dolphins have $18.8 million in cap space, so we all kind of saw this coming. We all probably had a feeling that they were going to make a move like this, whether it's adding a safety into your offensive lineman or possibly into your defensive lineman. They go with the safety. Now, all of us really wanted Justin Simmons. I even threw the name of Quandre Diggs out there. But the Dolphins went in a different direction, and they went with Marcus Maye. Now, like I said in my intro, I don't hate it. I don't hate the move. I'm not really, like, oh God, he sucks, he's horrible, because he's actually he's pretty solid. He's a pretty solid safety. I think he can really help this team out. I think in that rotation with Javon Holland, with Jordan Poyer, with possibly Nick Needham, I think that three-headed safety group that we have with him now is going to be good. He's an in-the-box safety, so he's going to be one of those guys who's going to, help, kind of like a Javon Holland, where you probably, and then Jordan Poyer actually too. It's going to be a good rotation at safety, bringing them down. Depth is there, and that was obviously something that the Dolphins wanted to address. Mike McDaniel came out, and he kind of made it seem like, oh no, we're fine, and this and that, and I like this team, but we all kind of knew that, hey, they're going to add some players, and like I told you guys, what I felt was going to happen was they were going to go into mandatory mini camps. They were going to kind of see what they had, and then this span of however long, whether I think it's a month and a half at this point, they're going to start adding players and reaching into the free agent market and adding the depth that they need. Now, could they have gotten Justin Simmons? Could they have gotten Quandre Diggs? Yes, they have the cap space to do it, but it's more about, can you justify paying somebody maybe the asking price those guys are asking for a guy who's going to be in rotation? Like Jordan Poyer's getting $2 million. Javon Holland is still on his rookie contract. You bring in a Justin Simmons who's probably asking for around $8 million. Same thing with Quandre Diggs. They're both probably asking around $8 million. It's the same thing that happened with Rashad Jones. It's the same thing that happened with a bunch of these other safeties at one point, where they all thought that their worth was higher than it was, and they kind of sat in the free agent market until, push came to shove, the season was about to start, and then they just signed somewhere. Kind of the same thing with the running back market. So, hey, I'm glad that they didn't overpay. I'm glad that they got a solid guy. Again, this isn't a guy who instantly, boom, you're like, oh, he could possibly, we could let Javon Holland walk, and, Marcus Maye is going to be the guy, which also veers towards the Dolphins giving Javon Holland a contract extension, because they didn't go out and get a Justin Simmons or a Quandre Diggs, who they could easily be like, all right, Javon, if you don't want to, sign this contract, or you don't want to come to some type of conclusion, we brought in your replacement. So, that kind of points in that direction. But I'm happy with this move. Now, to me, okay, you're my secondary. I'm not so worried about it anymore. The safety position, I'm not so worried about it anymore. We're good back there. Now I need them to add. Give me some more depth. Give me some more. A guy that I feel better at with that defensive line. And Omar Kelly is talking to Calais Campbell. There are some good guys that are still out there, even on the interior offensive line, like Van Rotten. Bring one of those guys in. I feel good going into 2024. Right now, I'm feeling good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking the team that we built. I like how hard these guys are fighting to get to the next level. You're seeing Jalen Waddle just push and push and push. You're seeing Tua get into some great shape, working overtime, going to the West Coast, putting in the work. Same thing with Tyreek Hill. You're seeing all of these guys put in that work to get better. You're seeing our rookies and Patrick Paul, going to overtime, working with Teron Armstead, and it makes you feel good, makes you, want to feel optimistic for the season. But you guys know my motto: I'd rather be surprised than let down. So we'll see how the season starts. But this is a solid move, solid signing. The one thing about Chris Grier is he's good at finding safeties. Like that's kind of his thing. So he might have found another one. And Marcus Maye was with the Jets, and then he was with the Saints for the past 2 years. And I kind of trust our defensive coordinator a little bit, because he comes from a pedigree of guys who know how to pick good players in Rex Ryan and Martindale and McDonald and the Ravens. He's been with the Ravens for a hot minute, so he knows when to look for and what to look for in certain players. So we'll see how this all pans out. But I like the move, signing Marcus Maye. Again, I kept talking about we need to add another safety. There you go. And they added another safety. And like I said, it's not a situation where they add another safety and then Javon's kind of sitting back like, so I'm not getting paid. So it's going to be interesting how things pan out. But comment below. Let me know what you think of the signing of Marcus Maye. And I will see you guys in the next video. But like usual, stay classy. FN's up.